Hey guys, welcome back to part number 7 of Wizard of War. Today I want to start doing the wiring. First I need to put the power brick and stuff in the bottom, and then we can start soldering wires onto that. So I'm going to let's get this opened up here. Let me grab a key to unlock it. Get this opened up and get this bottom tray pulled out so that we can start fastening that power brick in there. These are all the extra screws and stuff that we'll need for this. Kind of threw all the extra parts in the bottom of this when I was waiting for the wiring harness to get done. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge to figure out everything that's going on in here. But we got the power bricks up here. I'm going to say that got to figure out which direction they went. Trying to look at the marks on the wood, and it kind of looks like this big one maybe went back here, like that. And then the fuse holder went right here. And it looks like the small one goes right there. Okay, so that's figured out. And then we have this, which goes right over here. See the marks for that as well. Now I don't remember if these are bolted through or not. I think 2 of them are, and 2 of them are screws. So let me see what we got here. There's 3 carriage bolts. We would need 1 more carriage bolt, which is right here. So that's our 4 carriage bolts. And then the other ones get screws. Which I believe are the bigger 5/16 headed ones. So 2 more of those. They need to be short so they don't go through the back of the board. So I have 3. I need to find 1 more. I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm doing down here or not. Not really. There we go. Let me move this light over here too. That might help. So I'm looking for 1 more screw here. Here it is. I think that's it. Okay. Now I need 4 nuts. So now I need to kind of get these bolts, carriage bolts in from underneath. I might have to slide this tray all the way out. Let me go grab a few things that we're going to need. And then we'll come back and get these bolted in. Okay, I grabbed some stuff I needed here. Now I don't have a deep well socket down here, so hopefully this is going to be long enough. It's the wrong size. I need 11/32. Okay. Probably should get these screws in here first. Man, I think I forgot more stuff. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me get these that on real quick. Filter. Now I can't pull this out all the way unless I unbolt that back there, so I'm going to try to get this done without having to pull it all the way out. Actually, that worked without even using the drill to tighten it. Now, I've never played this game on the arcade version. I played it on the Atari, which kind of had some pretty crappy graphics. This is going to have to go to here, but what we'll do is we'll put a second nut on this stud, on this bolt, carriage bolt, so that we can use that to hold the ground wire, and then we don't have to loosen this back up. But yeah, I've never played it on the arcade version, so I don't really know how it plays. That back one's going to be the problem. This one might be the problem. I think I'm going to have to loosen up this one bracket here. There we go. Kind of a tight fit. I'm getting in the hole. We got a lot of wires to solder onto these. When I cut them off to send the harness out to Golden Age Arcade to get restored, I cut these wires and I left a little bit showing on all these terminals so that hopefully we can match them up and reconnect them in the right orientation. Now, if for some reason I can't figure out one of these wires, I have another one of these cabinets in the back building, and it still has the power bricks in it, all the transformers and everything. So I can always go out there, take some photos, and be able to figure it out. So now this is all bolted in. We need to bolt in the fuse holder. So I'm just going to pop these two fuses up like that, and then we'll get 2 screws for this. Okay, 1/2 inch long ones again, so that we don't go through the board, and then because then the board won't want to shut. I don't know if the monitor I have is going to work yet. The thing's mounted crooked from the factory. But I don't know about this monitor, how it's going to end up working or not. So we'll deal with that when the time comes. I am definitely going to have to probably go in the shop at some point and figure out where these wires went to. I don't know if these are ground wires or not. Probably not. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But let me get the main wiring harness here, which is right here. And these are all the wires that need to be connected down here. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is we will just leave this out in the carpet for now, and we can start working on these. So for instance, this first terminal right here is yellow with a red stripe. So he has marked this one right here, yellow with a red stripe. Right next to it we have okay, this one we don't need to mess with because this is going right to the fuse. I am going to have to cut this and redo this. This fuse holder looks like crap. It's got like some oxidation or something on it. So this, we need this yellow wire. This black wire is the third terminal. And then right next to that we have a white wire, which I'm assuming is this white. It's this white one right here with the blue stripe. And then we have a bunch of other wires, which I'm not sure where they go yet. This might be a bit of a challenge to get put back together. We will get it. Just a matter of figuring it all out. So let's start with a couple obvious ones. Let's start with the red, the yellow and red. Pull this old one off. I might have to add solder to this. Maybe. There it goes. Now he pre-tins these wires, which is nice. Nice. That's a good, nice, tight fit there. So let's go on to the black wire. I'm going to add a little solder to this one because the wire is thicker and there's not enough solder on this terminal. So I put a big blob on there, so now I can kind of take this and melt it into it. There we go. Beautiful. So that's two connections. Let's go on to this white one here. Try not to burn any wires in the process. I'm hoping between this part and the next part we can have this thing up and running. I don't see me getting it up and running tonight, especially on this part. Be happy to just get some of the wires run. Okay. So these are my two ground wires right here. These go onto here. So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the third ground wire off and we'll attach all three to a ring terminal and put it on there. And then we have more ground wires on this side, which I'm guessing go to that power brick right there. We have two purple wires coming off of here. Let me put this down before I burn myself. We have two purple wires coming off there, which is, why did I cut that? What's going on here? Okay, we got a purple wire over here. That purple wire goes to here. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look some of this up. I think I cut this by accident. I think this purple wire goes from here, possibly over to here, but I'm not sure. So we will not hook that up, but there's a purple wire right here as well, which we're gonna have to hook up. Then we have a bunch of them go right here. Problem is our house printer is not working right now. So if I take my phone out there and make a couple pictures, I'm probably gonna have to keep referencing to my phone to figure this out, because I'm not sure. Get this out of the way here. Let me see something. So we have an orange wire here, a blue wire here, and 2 grounds. Okay. These 4 go to that. This is orange and brown, 2 grounds, and the blue. So let's get that hooked in, because we know that where that goes. And I don't know if you guys are seeing any of this or not. Let me see if maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay, we're going to be working on those ones right there. So I'm going to grab my solder gun here. Let's take off the orange, the brown and orange first. Yeah, that was my finger. That felt good. Apologize if the lighting's a little crappy. It's kind of hard in the bottom of this cabinet to see. All right, these wires are not tinned, so I'm going to go ahead and tin these wires first. Now be careful when you're doing this over by this power supply. You don't want to drip solder into the power supply. I'm away from it enough. I'm going to get a decent amount of solder on these. Okay. Okay, so this one's not wanting to, solder's not wanting to loosen up. So when that happens, just take a little new solder and put it onto it. And by doing that, that usually releases the old solder. Usually. There we go. I'm gonna have to add a little more solder to all these because the wire gauge is thick. This is where it'd be really nice to have a second set of hands. Let me try putting more solder on this terminal. Put a big puddle on there, and maybe we can push this into it. There we go. I gotta put more on this brown wire, which is probably gonna fall off as soon as I start putting it on. Okay, now I just got this blue one left, and then this is hooked up. Looks like I'm gonna have to add solder to this one too. There we go. Okay, that was a pain in the butt. We got that done. Now I'm guessing we can get these two ground wires on for here. I'll have to go get a loop for that. And I'm guessing these wires go to here. I don't know, because they're not lining up color-wise. Unless there's another group of wires in here, which I'm not sure about yet. Which doesn't appear to be. So it looks like I'm going to be heading outside here real soon to get some pictures of what's going on. So I think what I'll do now is, let's get these two ground wires hooked up. And we'll screw that in, so that's out of the way. I'm pretty confident these two purples go together right here. They're two tiny purple wires of the same gauge, and it's the only two gauge wires that are this size. So I'm gonna bet on these two going together. And then we have a white with a green stripe going to the second fuse holder, which is, we need a white with a green stripe. Which I'm not seeing. What did I do here? Am I missing wiring? Where does this say it goes to? To the power. Okay, this must be the switch. Is there a switch on the bottom here? I don't know. Oh, that might go to, I wonder if this goes to the interlock switch right there. Yep, that's my guess. So this wires go to the interlock switch. These wires obviously go to another interlock switch or something of that nature. There is another one in the back up there. And then we have monitor, ground that goes on the monitor. So that's that. And then this should go up towards the speakers. So this is going to be our ground, our three ground wires that go on the three speakers. This is our marquee light with the ground wire. And then these are our two speaker wires. No, maybe not. No, these are not. I don't know what these blue wires are. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to figure that out. So I got a basic idea of where this stuff goes, except for all these wires up here. That I'm a little confused on. So let me go get a terminal. Let's get this ground wires hooked up, and then I'll have to go outside and take some pictures. I think what I'm going to do is unsolder this wires off of here and solder the new ones on. We use the original ring terminal. I have crimp-on ring terminals, and I'd rather not use one of those. I'm sure I could probably solder to it, but let's just see if we can't pull these old wires off of here. I could always splice the wire in, but I'd rather not. Okay, there is a hole there, but I don't think that's really going to help much. So now we got to hook up all three of these wires to this. Let's twist them together and see if we can't solder all three together. Ow. Nice, got a piece of wire stuck in my thumb somewhere. Just need this to hold together. We're getting there. Sort of. This is definitely not easy by myself. Got it. Okay, now we can bolt that in. All right, I'm gonna go outside and try to get into that other cabinet and figure out what's what. I'll probably make a drawing of this and write the wire colors in there. And I don't know that necessarily all these wires are even on there. I don't remember. I have seen some of these before where they have cut wires on them, so I'm just not sure. But I mean, clearly some of these wires go to them. Like this thicker purple wire right here, there's a thicker purple wire over here. So I'm guessing the thicker one goes to here and over to this transformer. And then this wire probably goes onto this transformer. It would have to be like that. That makes the most sense. So this wire comes from here, from the harness to there, from here over to this terminal on this one. So that would take care of that. This thin wire would go to the, thin purple wire would go to the fuse. And then some of these other wire colors are just not making any sense yet. So, and these terminals as well. So I'm gonna go take some pictures and I'll come back in. Okay, I went out in the shop and I found out that this harness was not in this cabinet originally. So when I sent the wiring harness to get restored, I did not have this piece. These are the missing wires we need for all along the back there, and I screwed up on this one. This white with blue stripe does not go here. It actually goes to the second or third terminal on this fuse block. This one's green. This one is white and blue, I think this one is. I'll have to look at my picture on that. This, I was correct on this purple wire, so that was correct. So basically now, what I need to do is start getting these wires put onto these terminals. Like this one here is a double yellow, then there's a black and a gray, which this one's gray, this one's black, double yellow. So let's start with these three, because I know we have two black wires and I don't know that those really matter. No, those are both grounds. So let me just double check here. Yep, they're right next to each other. So let's strip these wires, cut them all to the same length here, so that we're working with even length of wires. Okay, now I'm going to splice all these, or strip them rather. Good thing I had that other cabinet, because if I didn't, I'd be struggling right now because I would not have a clue what was what. Eventually I'll probably redo that other cabinet, and maybe I'll put all the Wizard artwork on it and get it all painted and everything like this one, and I'll just sell it or something to somebody. Maybe somebody has you know, all the wiring and everything and just need a good cabinet. Because it's a good cabinet, it just needs to be, it's actually really nice actually. The front door, somebody screwed shut, so it needs some work, but it's definitely nothing I can't handle and fix up. Let's see if we can find the holes so we don't have to tin the wire. We're starting with this black wire first. There it goes. I know this is kind of boring, but it has to be done. I always like to give them a good yank, make sure they're not gonna fall off. And I forgot to look where these wires go. But I did take some pictures, so hopefully the pictures show it, so I don't have to go back out there. Because I had to look at everything from the back forward, because the door doesn't open. So everything is kind of reversed, so I had to kind of figure it out. Oh, it's hot. There we go. So now this one's our gray wire, which we have 2 gray wires as well. Okay. A real pain in the butt. Guess if I'd have known this other harness was out there, I'd have put it on before I put this in there. Screwed this into the cabinet. Could have had a lot of these wires done where I'm not having to reach in here like this. I'm trying not to put a lot of weight on this circuit boards or anything. Get a puddle of solder on here. Okay, this one are the 2 yellows, thick yellows. My solder ran all to the bottom of the terminal, to the bottom side. I'll have to see if I can tin these 2 together. Still got a little bit of solder on my iron here. Okay, good. Those 3 are on there good. Now we gotta go back to this gray one again. Another gray one, then a black one. the last two, I'm gonna have to look at some pictures. And I'm gonna see if I can see where these two terminal wires go to. Something telling me those might go to a fuse holder or something. I'm not sure. Okay, black wire goes there. I want to say this one's yellow. So I'm guessing this one's yellow, and then the last one is the green and white stripe. But I'm gonna just verify that. So let me turn the camera off for a minute, and I'm gonna look up those last couple. Okay, I'm correct on those last two wires on the back here. Now, on the cabinet outside, magically, these two wires are floating in the air just like they are here. So I'm gonna have to research and figure out where those two wires go, because clearly these two to me look like power for the switch and stuff. Oh, while I was out there, these two blue wires go to the switch at the top of the cabinet. So that turns the game on and off. So by the looks of that, that means that I have no clue where these wires go yet either. These ones, not a clue. So let's get these last two wires on back here, and then we'll go on to the next step. This is going to be kind of a long video of just boring, trying to figure out these wires. But once I get them figured out, if anybody needs them, I'll have them. I can take pictures of this, slide this out at any point in time. I can't imagine many of these videos they're probably all pretty boring. Okay, one left. The hardest thing is to figure this stuff out when somebody has hacked it all apart. It's so difficult. I don't have a manual. I'm gonna have to go online and download one, because I tried to buy one the other day, but unfortunately it was already sold. I like having the paper manuals because I can, you know, keep recording and look at them and show you guys. But like I said, my printer's broken. I gotta go get a new printer. But I've been working 7 days a week again. I gotta work all weekend, so I haven't had time to stop and get anything. I mean, I can probably just go to Walmart or something. I don't need anything great. Just need something that I can print some basic stuff with. Okay, those wires are all hooked up. So now we need to disconnect this white and blue. This does not belong there, so I want to get that out of there before I forget. So get that off of here. This gets a white wire from here to here. And this one I soldered here, which I don't think is correct. But let's just try not to get confused here and just kind of do one step at a time here. Next we have, I don't know. I'm a little lost right now. This is done for now. I wonder if this plugs into here. into this power supply here, or where it plugs into. Because I have a switching power supply on here, and clearly we're using more than one plug. Looks like it goes on the bottom here, which would make sense because it would be feeding. Yep. I'm not going to plug it in yet because I want to verify it, but it has a key here. It's missing a pin there, and it's plugging in at the bottom here where it's getting 120 volts, which would make perfect sense because the 120 volts and ground and everything would be powering this right here. And then this would be sending power through this side over to the fuses and over to here. And I'm guessing this one is for the monitor, if I'm correct. Isolation transformer. So we got to get these two purple wires onto here. Let's do that next. Sorry, they're playing VR upstairs, so might get a little loud. So if you hear any yelling, it's just the kids playing VR. Okay, so those two purple wires are hooked up there. I need to hook up the two purple wires over here, which you cannot see what I'm doing over here. But we got this one and the skinny one. Okay, the two purples are hooked up now. We have a cut red one next to it, which I'm guessing goes to this red here, which would make the most sense. So I need to solder that on now. Oh, it's hot. Stick these two together. Okay. It's hot. Solder it. All right. Now those are hooked up. Got all these wires to figure out still. These ones go to the I want to say those go to the interlock switch, but they can't because these are for the interlock switch here and here. So those are interlock switches. Those, I don't know where they go. Guess it's back to looking at the picture. Something's telling me that something goes here. I don't know what it is. You can see there's two screw holes here that held something in place there. I just don't have anything for it. I don't know if it was maybe a terminal, just like two lugs. It's very strange what that could be. I'm gonna have to go in the book and see if I can't figure that out. So give me a few minutes here. Let me try to research some things and I'll come back. Okay, I found out a few more things. I have this fuse holder that I had taken out. This mounts right here. That's where these two blue wires go to. There's another fuse holder that goes on the end over here. And the skinny white wire goes to this terminal here. The fatter white wire goes to this terminal here. So we can get that hooked up. We get these two blue wires hooked up. This white and blue stripe goes to to this fuse over here. So we are making headway here. And I believe that this wire is in the right spot, so we'll leave that. I had to cut a couple zip ties in order to make this fit, but that's fine. We'll re-zip tie it up afterwards. So first thing I want to do is let's get this soldered to here first. So we need to get this old solder off of here. That's crappy. Okay. Pull this fuse up so that we can get a screw into it. Strip this wire first. Okay, now we can get this over to here, which is just going to be long enough, tight fit, because I had cut the wire down. I think we'll make it. Good, we're in there. Let's do this fuse holder next. Get the blue wire out of here. The manual has a picture of this, but the picture is really crappy. Okay, now we can screw this back in. If I can get the fuse loose. There we go. I just noticed on the side of this coin box, it says Hyper Sports on it, crossed out. Okay, that's hooked up. Still confused on this wire right here. This is a white and green wire. Don't know where that is. I did bring a piece of white and green wire in from out in that other cabinet. And I'm almost wondering if it goes to this terminal, if there wasn't two white and greens on there that came down, but I'm not sure. I'm not gonna hook that up until I figure that out. Because I've been wrong many a times. So it looks like we have these two brown and orange stripe wires that are connected together. I don't know what these do yet. I don't know where they go. So we have that. Oh, right here. These two holes right here are for a service plug. I don't have a service plug. I can go see if I have one in the back in my miscellaneous parts. I might. That would be nice to put that service plug in. Makes me wonder, these might go to the service plug, but these two are tied together, which means that this would be one side of the service plug, and we would still need a, let's say that this brown and orange is line, we need a neutral wire. So I'm not sure if that's correct or not. And I cannot tell in the manual what this is. I'm gonna have to go and see if I can look at the wiring diagram and see if I can determine what those go to. So basically we're down to just a few wires left and we'll have this part finished. So let me go look and see if I have a service plug. And let me look at the manual some more. Let me look at some schematics and see if I can't figure out these last couple wires. Okay, I got lucky. Went back out to the shop. There was a service plug on that other game. So I figured all the wires too. This black wire goes to the orange and black. This white wire goes to these two, and the three use this wire cap, is what it was like on the other machine, and they were just wire capped together. So we will just duplicate that. Might have to get a bigger one. Hi, Wolfie. He wants to be on camera. I don't know if you saw the dog or not. What's up, buddy? There we go. I'm gonna have to take this and spin it, which I might be able to just do it like that. There we go. Spin that. This ground wire goes to this lug right here. We'll have to put a loop on it. This is our two screws right here. We need to solder, and this actually goes this way. Sorry, goes like that. So I need to solder this black wire onto that blue and orange stripe. Okay. Splice this. Screw this in. It's got a little bit of surface rust. I'm not going to worry about it. Can always clean it up later if it bothers me. I don't know if I mentioned it has all the papers and the tags and everything out there. I do have some of them that I took off of here, but if I need more, I can just get them from there. So I need to get a ring terminal for there. And then these two wires that I've been stumped about, they literally are just like this, and they're screwed right to the piece of wood. That's all they did with them. So we are going to just duplicate that and grab two screws and screw them right into the wood. Now this board set is supposed to be completely working. I bought it from a guy on KLOV. He works on these boards and Gorf boards. He fixed everything on it. He ran it for a long period of time. I do want to get a high score saver kit for it. So I still need to do that, but I figured I would get it up and running first, make sure it works properly, and then we can pull out whatever board we have to take out to put the high score saver kit on it. So let me go grab a ring terminal. We'll get this grounded to there, and then we just have this wire, and I need to figure out that green and white stripe wire. So let me go grab that ring terminal. Okay, I grabbed the ring terminal here. This has that blue end on it. I'm gonna pull that off. And then we'll crimp it and maybe put a little solder on it. Let me correct that. I'm gonna try to pull this off. There we go. So let's crimp this ground wire to it, and then we'll put a little solder on it. I don't want this to come loose and arc onto something because the crimp went bad. There we go. Now we can get another nut. Oh man, I need to take this apart. I'm gonna have to fish it through. I kind of trapped my wires in here. Let me fish these through before I go any farther. Looks like the only wire I'm not going to know tonight is that green and white stripe wire. It's the only one I'm stumped on. So now we got that out of the way. We can get this on here and get another nut for it. Originally these were not double nutted, but I have extra nuts from the old control panel that had all those extra joysticks and everything on it. They just happen to be the same size nut. So I don't mind double nutting them. Okay. This wire I need to hook up. Still lost on this one too, this blue one. Still lost on it. This goes to the old power supply, this plug. That's not needed anymore. So that'll just kind of sit there because the old power supply sat right here where I put this new one. Let me look at the pictures one more time on these wires and see if I can't figure it out. Okay, the white and blue stripe goes on this side of the fuse holder. And yes, it's kind of a rat's nest of wiring. Okay. Basically, the only thing we're missing is the second fuse holder. Doesn't have a wire on either side. I know that there's a green and white stripe wire that goes from somewhere into there and out the other side, and I don't know which one it is. Because it's funny because there's a green and white stripe here, which goes to here, and it doesn't go anywhere else. So I guess I can make one more trip out back and see if I can't find that last wire. If I can figure out that last wire, we could zip tie this back together and put a couple clamps back on the piece of wood like it originally was. And other than that, I think we're done with this portion, and this will probably end this video. And then the next video, we will plug everything in the cabinet and start testing voltages and stuff like that. See if we're getting power to the monitor. See if we're getting the correct voltage coming out of here, going into here. Obviously, we won't plug the board set in until we check the voltages. So we are definitely getting there. We are getting pretty close to getting this thing fired up. But let me go outside one more time and see if I can't figure out this green wire dilemma. white stripe or white wire with green stripe. That's basically the last thing that's holding us up from finishing this section. Okay, no clue on that one. The only thing I know is that the label says 12 volts. And then I know that these tags, this one goes here and this one goes here. So I'm going to staple these back on. This goes here. And then this one, that green wire, the white with the green stripe, it's 12 volts, 1.5 amp. So I don't know where, I need to find where the 12 volts come from and where it goes to. I have no clue. This sticker, or this tag goes right in here. Hopefully I can get the stapler in here, at least get one staple on it, which I think I can. But then this first one says 12 volt 1 amp, and then this one says 12 volt 1.5 amp. So that means that this wire right here is feeding, this wire right here is going to this terminal. So clearly this wire is feeding 12 volts to this side. So maybe it's as simple as this wire jumps to that one. I don't know. But then where does it go out and where does it go to? If anybody knows, has a Wizard of War and can tell me that, I would be greatly appreciative. Okay. And then this goes over here. This covers the service switch or plug. And then I still have one more paper that goes over there, but I don't have it. I didn't take it off the game outside. I'll do that another day. So let's zip tie up some of these wires here, kind of clean it up a little bit. So we just need to figure out that one wire. And these are kind of all bunched up like this in the other cabinet, so just trying to put it back somewhat original looking. Now we need 2 clamps. Let me zip tie these real quick. I really lucked out having that other cabinet. I would be completely screwed if I didn't. there. This is just gonna sit there and do nothing. That goes back there. These wires go into the terminal, which I do need to check them to make sure I plug them in the correct way, which I think it's just these two go up here. I'm just gonna temporarily plug them in and I'll double check on the other cabinet. I think it's just the first two terminals. I think the first two terminals connect together. And there's plastic covers that go over these interlock switch wires, which I don't know if I have them from this cabinet, but I have other ones on the other cabinet. So I can pull them off of there if I don't have them down here, which I don't know if I do or not. No, I don't think I do, but that's fine. We have them on the other cabinet. So I'm gonna turn off my solder gun for the night. So that's gonna end this video, guys. We are slowly getting there. Next video, probably get to that tomorrow night. We'll continue on with the wiring inside the cabinet and go from there. So, all right, guys, that's gonna end this video. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, like I said, we have a ton of other projects to do. So please like, subscribe. Any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them. I respond to every single one. So other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow night.